Okay guys, we are doing my wife's nails and continuing her journey with the Russian manicure. Babe, can you sit? We need to get to work.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot of work to do. This is going to be a lot of different learning curves this time around, just because she likes cleaning without...
Y hay café, caballero, hay café, sí, un
Okay,
café.
listen, she likes cleaning without gloves, and it's been like 4 weeks, I think, since your last appointment.
Oh, girl, yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 4 weeks.
I've washed the car since then. I've washed the
greaser,
dogs.
everything.
También le pasé.
So her nails are struggling. Literally, I had to force her in here though today because she didn't want to come.
I normally would defend myself, but yeah, I'm struggling.
Yeah, no, you're struggling. It's gonna show you how to remove product that's like lifting and going against, you know, it being still and stable. So here's what these are looking like, guys. Look how crazy these look. But they have gotten so long. Tell me they haven't gotten long.
Yeah.
So long.
You can see the growth in here.
It's crazy. She's a nail biter. You guys started watching the first one. We've made a lot of improvement. Let me start with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna start about 17 RPMs. Babe, get your cookie on and let's go. Good. Okay, so first, actually, yeah, let me take off the superficial first. So this one doesn't seem to have any lifting. I normally like to ask people like which ones are lifting, if anything hurts. Did you jam it?
I hit myself twice in that nail.
Which one?
The pinky.
Okay, well, she's on at least. Yeah, so if anything hurts or anything, if you just recently injured yourself, so you know to be gentle on that nail, or more gentle than you usually are. Okay, so first, so you see that little white stuff, that's normally a little bit of lifting. So I'm just gonna tap very lightly, and you see that came off. Zoom you in a little more. Boom. Okay, so it came off, and then the rest we can just do with the sanding band. Okay, this one, she is nearly almost gone. So since it's a very small area that you're going to be working on, you don't want to just continue going and going. So just work lightly, because if not, she will get a heat spike. And I do like to pause in between. And people normally tell me like, oh, it's fine, it's not hot or anything, but it's just a good thing to make a habit of, just so you don't over file in the same area. And you can actually feel it to the touch once it is hot. You see that little white stuff right there is a little bit of lifting, so I'm just gonna focus there. Came off, boom, there, and then this little bit right here, boom. Now go over. That's pretty flat, so we're just gonna leave it there. And now moving forward, can you move this anywhere? Okay, is this one the one that was lifting? Yeah, so this one's lifting and peeling off. Can you turn your wrist for me? The other way? Okay. You see? I don't know if you could see that. That's like completely loose. So it's adhered here. So we're just gonna go with it.
Girl, sound like you're doing construction.
It got hot? A little bit? It's scary. So we want to continue moving this way, because once that removes itself, you're going the way of where the lifting is. So if this was lifting this way, I'd be working this way. So with whichever side is attached. Because if I was to go against this, I can yank and pull and further damage or rip her natural nail plate, thing of that sort. So you see, even going like this, again, I can pull this with the actual drill. So I just like to work the way that it is here. It's like holding on to dear life. And now, this is if you're a little more experienced. I'm going to use this right here to go ahead and start working on flicking this off. And again, you're working in slow motions. And you're essentially trying to make a line, a ridge on that so it can just snap off everything that is loose. So here we starting to get a little opening. Okay, now we want to follow along. And just reassure that you're working on the superficial. Here you go. And as you can see, now I can just go here a little more. Have you gotten any heat spikes? No? Okay. And now you can cut this off. No. Not coming off, so I'm going to bring it down again. Oh, babe, don't do that. Came off. Okay. Right. So now we're just going to, then it's a very small area, so working very lightly. Now we can actually work downwards. Boom, that came off. Working this way. Boom, boom, boom. Any water? No, thank you. Okay, that came off. Cute. And now we continue. I'm not going to do the other finger. I mean, the other hand. I mean, I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to record it.
I was like, girl, you just gonna have to. I know, I'm not gonna do that. Like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, like that is not what I came here for.
See my face. I'm just choking with it.
So as you can see, there's some white in here. That signs of trauma and lifting, just mostly lifting. But you can tell she's like banged her finger because there's lifting in the center. And because she doesn't have any length or any extension or anything, that goes to show that it was just wear and tear. And again, just doing the most with the nails, and that's why it's lifting in the middle. So we are going to try to get down there. I'm going to put in a before and after picture because, oh my God, we've made such great improvement.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Girl, you ain't do nothing. No, I'm kidding. You've been behaving. You've been picking less.
I've been trying my best. I look at them, I'm like she took her time on.
Right. Okay, so do we have any lifting?
This one also been through. I'm not even.
Is this one lifting?
It was.
No, it's just peeling.
I was biting.
Yeah, you were biting
I
this
know,
one.
but not. Once I had a chip,
It was to town.
it was a wrap. We were in there to stop it.
DK wasn't there to stop
Gotta
you.
find that.
So again, just ensuring that you're moving constantly. That way you don't cause any heat spikes. And if you feel like you possibly have moved there or hit it a couple times, you can just take a quick pause. And then again, all of this discoloration down here is showing that it has been lifting, which could cause mold and fungus. Thank God she didn't get any of that. Yeah, fun fact.
Why didn't you tell me the thing?
Well, because you don't want to make an appointment, you don't want to come in here. You just want to live life.
No, I told you.
No, you're like, for the next week.
I'm a busy woman.
Are you? You are, though. You really, really are. And this is a light pressure that we're doing on this, just so you're aware. We're letting the machine do all the work for us. Oh, there it goes. Cute. Okay. See, so we just removed all of those and we're going back to this hand. Okay, so we're gonna start by pushing the cuticles back to expose it. And she's nice and exposed. And I am doing a little tuck under there to the ones that allow it to. Cute. And cute. So now we are switching over to our plain bit. We're going on the RPMs of 7. Let me see. Now we're bringing 4. Okay. So we're going to start by going right under what we literally just opened. I'm going to fold her finger down to be able to get into the sidewall. And I'm not jamming this into her. I'm just very lightly. Because you don't want to make a ridge on the nail plate. So pointing the finger down, opening that cuticle wall, and opening this cuticle wall. So next. And putting that finger down, getting into the cuticle wall, all around, and into the other cuticle wall. Next. And then this one you can actually see this like stickiness down here. That right there that I just took off. You want to reassure when we go in with the sanding band, we remove all of that because that causes lifting. So putting the finger down into the cuticle wall and around. Just reassure that the cuticle pocket is open. Putting the finger down, and I'm actually moving my wrist a little bit. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm moving my wrist. So instead of being head on, that's okay for this motion, but now when it's time to get over here, I'm moving my wrist towards me, pointing the finger down, and lifting up the cuticle pocket, and around. So that's what that looks like. Doing the thumb is the easiest one. I don't know, there's just something about the like hand placement that helps it. Going forward. So now the goal here is definitely to get rid of this, which is lifting. So I'm just going to follow up the cuticle wall again. I'm bending my wrist towards me, bending the finger down, and all around little circles. And then I can see that there's a little bit of lifting in here. So I'm going to push and open that skin to be getting in there. I put my RPMs down to 5 because this is a new machine and I feel like it was a little strong. So just feathering motions around that little area, and we already did mini circles, so it's like touch, 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 and down the sidewall. So that is nice and texturized. This seems to be coming off, flaking off pretty easily, so I'm just going to continue since it wants to be removed. It's not necessarily lifting, but it's coming off pretty quickly, so I'm just going to go ahead and texturize it off. You see here it's not coming off as easy, so I'm just going to leave it there. Because regardless, you're going to put base on. So again, little baby touches around the cuticle, and then going down the sidewall, and then feathering the center. I can see that is lifting, so the natural nail plate has a little bit of lifting as well from the peeling. So making sure you're constantly in motion. So as you can see, I'm over here, I'm in the center, and then I'm going down the sidewall, in the center again, nice and done. Now this one, again, pointing the finger down, going up and crawling up the sidewall, and then you will see baby circles around the cuticle, down the other sidewall. And now we're going to do the center. Again, this one also has some natural peeling due to the gel coming off. So Just make sure. Tickle motions, very light pressure. Just one little more dot. You don't want to leave any lifting in the center, well, anywhere really, but the most dangerous zone is anything on the edges, so that's how the mold and the fungus happens. But I don't like to leave any lifting in the center either, because that's your foundation. So if your foundation's already wonky, you know, it's going to be easy for you to continue constantly hitting it, and then eventually we'll make it to the free edge or corner and then start lifting. So bring this down and round around on the sidewall. So I'm just tickling the center. Again, very light pressure to ensure you don't cause any heat spikes, constantly in motion. And now we just only have a little right here in the center. Boop, boop, boop. For the cut corner, and I'll stop there. Okay, now the thumb, pulling up the sidewall, around. Pass your thumb closer to me. Okay, now digging into this sidewall. And now we're gonna work everything in the center. Again, she has natural lifting, all of these. So we could just like literally start there. It's a very light tapping. And your hand motion is going like this. You're really gonna pop that like if you were in kindergarten?
You got my hand.
You just like gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Okay, so now I'm gonna face it facing down. Boop, 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 and I got rid of it, so I'm just gonna continue facing down. Okay. Pretty. So this is what it looks like as of right now. Now we're gonna go with this bit, which is the round one, and then this is the one that makes a really big difference. So just lining and going in little circles. Want to make sure you're flat, you're not inclining. So just little circles, and that's really going to open up the cuticle pockets. Look at her. And just there she goes. And opening the cuticle pocket. Next one. And now the very last one. And that is what it looks like. Nice and open. Beautiful. So now for the cutting part, which I like to cut with scissors because I can actually see where I'm going. You want to cut with the very tip of the scissors to guide you as you go across. Move this down. And she's not as sensitive as she used to be because obviously we've been doing this now, what, 3 months? It's like, this is your third set. Yeah, 3 months.
3 months?
Or going on 3 months. feel like I'm risk nipping her there, so I'm just not gonna do it. So you can see where it's going. This is why I swear by this process, because this prep, because without this prep, it makes it so easy to see exactly where you're going, where you're headed, what has to be removed, what doesn't, or what cannot. As you see, her skin has gotten a lot more used to it, so it's not as sensitive, it's not as red. So major improvement. Actually, just noticed that this still has a little bit of lifting, so I'm gonna go in and remove that. We're looking like, go ahead and clean them with a little bit of swipe, just by your nails. And a brush. I like to brush down, making sure you're getting everything out of the sidewalls. Removed. And now she's ready for coloring. Easy peasy, we already finished this, so, which is what's really gonna make the nail look nice and voluptuous and even. So, this is in the color Unspoken Feel, which is a big hit for my clients. I have an extra one already, which I'm thinking I'm gonna pull out. Okay, we still have some here. Where are we gonna do the little bats at?
Good question.
Yeah. Because it's the little, like the full coverage bat, right? I don't think I have just like a single bat.
I'm guessing just like in the middle.
Okay. Because it's, you know, that nail's gonna mostly be, oh no, kidding, it's not. It's all in my head. Literally. Babe, why is your hand out the light? Thank you.
That was just 60 seconds.
It was. You have a special light on. Inside the light? Inside the light? Inside the light, yeah. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. Okay, not touch. Okay, so it's fun, but it's messy. So this is where we're gonna lay this down. You wanna clip one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this hand up because it tends to get pretty messy, so definitely wear gloves while doing this. And then you can only clean this with 100% acetone, so that is exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, you want the little bats or the big bats? Like
Me
these or these?
You think I can fit that in there?
Let me see. Oh, I can measure. Hold on.
Measure that shit, bro.
Go by the bow. I dropped. Okay, alright. Yeah, it fits.
Oh, shizzle.
Okay. So we're gonna do the smaller bat. You have to work extremely quick because it does dry pretty quick. So I'm gonna put a glob of this, go across, I'm gonna go grab this, I'm gonna swipe. And since I swiped up, I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna start from the bottom to the top. And you also want to have tape next to you. And I have the tape reversed. So instead of the sticky part being down, I have it up. So if there's anything extra that I don't need, I would stick it onto here, if that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and demonstrate. So glob right across. Oh shit. Okay, grab this, swipe up, grab this, starting from the bottom all the way to the top. There she is. I did grab a little bit of that, so I'm just gonna place it here. If you don't have this, it's completely fine. There is something extremely close that I can't get off, but since it's on gel, squeeze, it's gonna wipe off with a little bit of acetone and release very softly. And now I'm just gonna go in with a little something, whatever brush you have, whatever paper you have, and remove that. Anything that's around that we don't want. Just exfoliate that off. This comes off too. Boom, boom, boom. And now by the time you're ready to put top coat, it's dry. Anything else you have on here, which I have a little bit, I'm gonna hold this down. I add a little bit of tension and just press it on here. It's like that. Got the little one that was on the side. Top coat, and then repeat that again so you guys can see what that looks like. So I'm already on my way to go put top coat, but I just remembered, if you wanted to layer anything on top of this to reinsure that that first stamp doesn't get messed up, I would encapsulate it with top coat. So like, let's say, I don't know, I wanted to put a spider right next to it, I would still put top coat and then do a spider on top, because the second you put any swipe or acetone on this, it would smudge completely. Okay, we're gonna make a little mess here.
A little mess.
A little mess. You also want to wipe this down. If there's any little bit of polish that's on this that is like fully dry or semi-dry because you're working quickly or whatever the case may be, it will like mess up your stamping. And babe?
Okay, I was just trying to see a good reel.
A reel? That's what you're looking
To
at?
leave it on.
Oh yeah, that one would be. Okay, so blob across. Do two times. Ooh. Grab that. Press and remove. Wait, babe. Grabbed it. Perfectly good spider. So we're just gonna clean off the spider and remove the other bat wing. And that's it, because I don't want to risk messing that up. Align that. And press to the side. Press to the other side and slowly remove. Cute. Cute. And I'm just gonna clean. Let me see if that just like flakes off. Does it just flake off? No. I was like, the other one was moving. Okay. Let's just cap it and then we'll clean it on the bottom. Okay.
All of all.
That moon. Okay, and I always go over and just file one more time to reinsure I like the shape of everything. Make sure everything is flowing how we want it to. That small line looks cute. This one's barely a small line, but she's getting places. Okay. And here you're looking for that little bit of dust that's gonna make that cute little small line. Drop the other fingers. So this one's a little deeper on this side, so you can make this a little deeper. Round this off a little. Cute.